Welcome to Paranormal Almanac with your host, Kurt Sandvik.
Hey, howdy, hi. That's right. Welcome to another edition of Paranormal Almanac. I'm your host, Kurt Sandvik. I'm sorry, I was completely thrown. Well, the entire time that the intro music was playing, I was scrambling to get like 10 things all set up in time because, I didn't get it set up prior because I'm not a smart man. And so I panicked. I was like, oh, God, the music's ending. Oh, God, I hear my voice. Oh, God, I know it's like 7 seconds left. Whew. All right. With that, on this edition, let's talk some more about Paranormal Arkansas. I think you're going to really like this one. I really think you're going to like this one because I like it. And frankly, that's all that matters. No, it's you guys. But first, we have shout-outs. Actually, you know what? Before we get to the shout-outs, I want to do special shout. Now I'll save them until afterwards. Let's do shout-outs first. Shout-outs going out to Chani the Pommy, Matt Lord, JT, Doogie Hoare, Mike G, Tracy, Ryden, Jet, Brenda, Richard, Logan, Charles, Lori, Alec, Karen, Duran, Lori, Rebecca, Ann, Stephen Scher, hey howdy hi, Jane Ann, Jennifer, Heather G, your friendly neighborhood skinwalker, Zuzus, what's it? Nico Scher and the Mouse, hey howdy hi, what's it? Zuzus, whoops, did I say that one? Yes, Mark and Tina, Tortuga, Mike from Jersey, Jay Bizzle, Andy, Tracy, hey howdy hi, and thank you for the gifts. Virginia, Tony the Magician, Jason, Vicky, Crow, Libido Works, Glacier Maine, Isabel, Jen, Stacy, Amber, Tracy, Kelly, Joe, Menace the Beast, Kick-Ass Magic Robot Webcomic, Sandy, Paige, Couch, Bentman666, Scott, Andrea, Melody, Vanessa, Marisol, Liam, Elizabeth, Sherry, Art Muffin, Tim, Kenneth, Ricky, Ricardo, Alexandra, George, Zozo the Demon, Hayden, Cindy, Ashley, Carrie, Robin, special shout out for you in a minute, Will, Lauren, Russell, Isabel, Audra, Dorian, Cindy, Paula, Jerry, Jeff T, hey howdy hi buddy, Joe, Lawrence, Melissa, the Lauren Strawn, hey howdy hi, Veronica, Autumn, J Mark, Carolyn, Jade, Nanashi, Todd, Jamie, and Elijah Hendrickson, two of them I'm going to see today, Dan, Laura Pitts, and the one and only Gamer Fan, the best. All right, I've got some special shout-outs. I got a lot of them. First of all, as always, two special shout-outs to Joe Teague and to my boy Stitch. Miss them both. But I have a lot of special shout-outs. Thank you to Robin and everyone else who sent me these insanely wonderful gifts this week. I got to be honest, it was a very long week. Very busy, very long week. And I get notifications when I get mail in to the address, which I should probably have in a second because I should probably tell you guys if you want to send me something as lovely as what these people have been sending me, which is just incredible. You can send me something to Kurt Sandvik or Paranormal Almanac at 1812 West Burbank Boulevard, number 7102, Burbank, California, 91506. Once again, that's Paranormal Almanac or Kurt Sandvik. 1812 West Burbank Boulevard, number 7102, Burbank, California, 91506. But, so this week, I got a notification. I'm like, oh, I got a package. And then I got a notification. You got another package. And then I got another notification. You got another package. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Either they're mistaken and I only got one and they keep sending it to me by accident, or this is just going to be the best day ever. Well, spoiler, I've already spoiled it. It was the best day ever. My God, I got some amazing packages, some incredible gifts, some stickers. I got a shirt. I just got tons of stuff, but I got I'm pointing to it like the camera's on and it's not. The Bradford Exchange has a UFO HO train set. When I was a kid, I had a train set in our basement and I flippin' loved this thing. Until I ran out of room, and it was like, well, I guess that's as big as it's ever going to get, and I kind of abandoned it. And hopefully, I don't know where they are. Hopefully, maybe it passed on to my nephews. I don't know. I hope it's out there somewhere because that was a lot of train. But I always loved vintage trains, model trains. My goal is when I get my house, see, not if, projecting, when, manifesting, when I get my house, my goal is to have around the top border of like the bedroom, like, you know, where the ceiling hits the wall, basically. I want to have a train track going around and, you know, turn on a train. It'd be really cool. But Bradford Exchange has the UFO Express, which is this kick-ass, I'm looking at it right now. It's this kick-ass looking, like 50 sci-fi looking train that says UFO on the side of it, and it glows green. It's got all these like Grimleys and grommets and crap on the top, and it's cool as hell. And Robin, it was genuinely made my day. But not just hers, all the gifts genuinely made my day. And I cannot thank you all enough. I'm going to look pimping and styling in the shirts and the shoes and the stickers. Oh, my God. It was a great mail day is what I'm saying. So thank you all so much. I got the Paramaniacs are the best. And I always want to make sure that I shout you out. And I never do it justice. So I wanted to make sure on this episode I did it justice. Thank you for the wonderful cards and letters. I love getting letters. How cool is that to get a letter nowadays? Only mail I ever get are bills, and I just paid a shit ton of them right before I did this episode. So I don't want to do those. I want the cards and the letters. So thank you all so much. I cannot thank you enough for just being, like I said, the coolest Paramaniacs in the world. But let's get right on into paranormal news. That's right. It's paranormal news, and it's going to be a little bit of a different one, to be honest with you, because the first thing I want to talk about, and it's actually going to be a couple of stories in the paranormal news about it, is that UFO incident that happened in Vegas. This was a while ago. Like, I don't even know how long ago it was, but about I don't know, maybe a year ago, there was a Las Vegas UFO incident where these two kids, teenagers, whatever, saw a bright green light, something crash basically near Vegas, near the Strip, in Las Vegas. And they went out and back and they said they saw an alien. And I really thought that was going to be the end of the story. Like, you know, sure, there's going to be every podcast, including myself, is going to reach out to them and try and get them on the show kind of a thing. But I thought that was about it. Like, the story was just going to end. And it hasn't. You know, you'll hear a little bit more about it in the actual paranormal news. But this kid that actually saw them, he went on Instagram, I think it was, maybe TikTok, and he did his own thing of like, hey, I just want to set the record straight. I want to lay it all out for you. So I just want to play it for you because it's better than me reading any kind of paranormal news article. So let me, if I can get it to play.
First video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I'm trying to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not going to believe this, but each person is different. So this is what happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother, and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. And me and my brother looked at each other, and we were scared, but when the impact happened, it was sort of like a shock wave, like an out-of-body experience. So to say, when I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry, not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video.
All right, so it's video of the police officer talking to two people, and there's a bright green light in the sky.
Here's a Ring camera video. You can hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
Yeah, that loud. It was insane. I'll find the video of this as well for you guys.
So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. And here's the video where we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's the video.
¡Ay! ¡Permisar!
This is the actual video.
Carlos Varela, me cansé les
Where he
eso.
runs away.
Cáelo, Cherro, que chica. Cáelo, Cherro.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, "Look behind the forklift." So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color, and when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird looking feet and a big face and eyes, and you can see a big mouth.
Unfortunately, you can't see it.
And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again. And I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911, and here's the 911 call.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the police to come, and you could hear footsteps in the backyard area, and a loud whispering, like you could hear whisperings. We were in the living room area, and you could hear footsteps on the roof. So we waited a little bit for the police. When they arrived, they told me I told them what I saw, and they were kind of freaked out. Here's the body cam of the officer.
Now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro...
So they went in the backyard, and one of the officers pointed at the floor, and it was a perfect circle. Here's a photo of the circle I'm referring to.
Yeah, it's a circle in dirt.
Keep in mind, 2 officers came in my house, and one of them started running to his car, driving around the neighborhood, asking passing cars if they saw light.
What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
It's almost over.
Goosebumps and freaking out. He started investigating that he told me his partner, she saw a light falling from the sky. He told me he believes me because her partner reported that she saw the same light as me. Now we're walking the front yard. Then the other officer came here, Here's a video of him talking to my family.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
All righty. So that's the pretty much the extent of the video. He goes back to that cop saying that a few times, so you don't need to hear the rest of it. But like I said, I'll try and find it. He must have posted it on YouTube as well because he keeps referring to YouTube. But it's an incredible story that isn't going away. That when it happened, I was like, okay, that's really cool. And then I didn't think much of it again. I kind of, like everybody else, I think, or most people, I think, I kind of just went, all right, well, that was weird, and there's no way to prove or disprove it, so it is what it is. Cut to. A Las Vegas family says 10-foot aliens landed in their backyard. Now a crime scene analyst has weighed in. 2 aliens that allegedly landed in a Las Vegas family's backyard used some kind of cloaking device to hide from humans. Man, I can't tell. I messed with the volume last week when the helicopters were there, and now I can barely hear me. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. I think you can. I'm going to keep going. The new claim came after teenager Angel Kenmore uploaded footage to YouTube where he said that he had recorded an encounter with an alien in his yard. There we go, in April of 2023. It's like over a year ago. At first glance, the footage appears to show nothing, but Kenmore has claimed that it reveals a tall, skinny, lengthy creature with a gray-greenish color. Now, let me pause right here and say I've watched that video since, a number of times since it came out almost a year ago. I can't see the alien. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't see shit. Well, let me continue the story. He told me to go inside. At this point, we all were freaking out, me and my family. Here's the video. We're in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good on camera, but it's there. A year on, Scott Roeder, who has testified in high-profile criminal cases, and Jim Quirk, a reporter who runs the extraterrestrial reality podcast, have claimed that their analysis of the footage confirms that 2 beings used some kind of cloaking device to shield themselves from the curious family and later police officers. They used AI to recreate the movements in the video to show what apparently happened. I want to see their video. Roeder said, I think that the AI software was able to allow us to do what was determined that it was not just a shadow beyond any reasonable doubt to a degree of scientific probability. That's the same standard that you use to testify in court, the same standard that you can send a suspect to jail for the rest of their lives. He added he believes the alleged cloaking technique was also used to shield a craft that some believe crashed on the same night. My feeling is that something went wrong with this craft or whatever they were in and had to come down to make an emergency landing. They landed in this backyard, and while they were making emergency repairs, perhaps these alien beings are trying to stave off the pesky humans, while these other aliens that we don't see are working on the craft. Great theory, but I want to see the AI footage. And I don't see the AI footage. Let me see if I can find it. Because I really want to see his AI footage that shows that it was... Okay, let's try that again. How about that way? All right. I think this is the footage. Let's see. What the hell? What just happened? The video just ended? Why is it, was it 2 seconds long? Come on, play.
To me, I applied the same principles that I would apply to any kind of a homicide investigation, right?
Yes.
And you have to look at the totality of the evidence. And you're going to have debunkers that'll be like, well, but the shadow, it could be this, that, or the other. No, it cannot. And I want to open this up. Everything that we've done, I'm opening it up for peer review. Okay. Anybody out there with a degree in photography, anybody out there who's a qualified expert witness in video analysis like I am, anybody out there with a master's degree or higher in education in video analysis, video editing, photography, film development, computer animation, and so on and so forth, bring it on. Look at what I've put on my YouTube channel. Look at what Jim and I are going to talk about today. And I'm willing to hear what professionals in my field have to say about this and open it up. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Okay. So they do a green outline that they've completely drawn like the basic typical gray alien around a blur. I could do the same thing. I could draw myself around the blur and say, look, it was me and I was cloaked. I'm not saying he's wrong. There is something there. There are some blurs that are definitely unexplainable, but I think it's a big jump from that to what he did, which was, like I said, it's a green outline of a gray alien, like the typical alien that you picture in your head, around the blur. And I think that, I think it could be anything. I really do. But it's interesting to say the least. And I just wanted to really give that Las Vegas alien story, UFO story, its due, because I really, I talked about it in the past, but there wasn't, like I said, it was like a year ago. There wasn't a lot to talk about. Seems like there is. There seems like there's more to it. This kid's story hasn't changed. Sure, he was reading, and when I find the video and I post it on the Facebook fan page, you'll see he is clearly reading, and he's scrolling up on his phone to read you his story. But I think it's because he's nervous. I don't think it's because he's trying to lie and he wants to make sure he gets his facts right. I really think he was just nervous. But anyhow, we got stuff to get to, so let's move on to the next story in paranormal news. UFO captured zipping through sky during Blue Angels air show over New York Beach. I've been wanting to watch this one really bad. Oh, it's on TMZ apparently. All right, there's a Blue Angel aircraft. Oh, wow. All right, now this one I'm very intrigued with. I got to throw that up on the Facebook fan page right now. Yeah, that one is cool. Whatever it was, and it's tiny, and it's looks silver and orb-like, it zipped by so fast, like insanely fast. This one's neat. What do you guys think? What do you think? And I just posted it up on the Facebook fan page so you can know when I'm recording this episode. Spoiler, it's 9:22 on Saturday. All righty, up next in paranormal news. Aliens are interacting with humans, according to retired Army colonel. That's right, Carl Nell said aliens have been interacting with humanity for some time. And it goes on to the whistleblower Grush case, but retired Army colonel Carl Nell claims non-human intelligence not only exists and been to Earth, but has been actively interacting with humanity. He made the statements during a live chat at the SALT Connections conference, and I talked a little bit about this, but he keeps going on about this and how interactive aliens seem to be with humanity. And he says they are very, very interactive with not only our government, but with people in general. So, you know what? I don't think he's wrong. I really don't. I cannot stop my ad block from working. Come on, ad block, stop. All righty, let's try that again. Up next in paranormal news, Las Vegas aliens try to stave off pesky humans. What are they doing here? That's right. I kind of jumped ahead on that one, so I don't need to read you that whole story. But that just shows you how many, and I mean, it's pretty much, if you type in UFO and news, 9 out of 10 are going to be about that Las Vegas one. But I gave that one its due now, so let's keep on moving on. Up next in paranormal news, Japan lawmakers to create group for government probes into UFOs. That's right, Japanese lawmakers met on Tuesday to create a nonpartisan group that will ask the government to establish an organization for investigating unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. The lawmaker group will be chaired by Yasukazu Hamada. Sure, why not? Parliamentary affairs leader for the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. The group will hold its founding general meeting on June 6th after Tuesday's preparatory meeting, which was held in Parliament. The U.S. government has created a specialized organization as well that you guys already know. Point of this one is it's not just America that says, hey, government, you got to be A, more forthright, and B, investigate these more. So now it's Japan as well, which is really telling that it's more and more governments. Like I've been saying, disclosure's happening already. It's not coming. It's happening. That's what this is. This is disclosure. Up next in paranormal news, declassify the UAP files. That's right. Around 5 a.m. on June 26, 2020. It doesn't matter. The point of this one is, I'm going to start skipping ahead because I'm way into this episode, that even more people are demanding in the government and for the government to start being more transparent with the UAP files. And I think that is freaking brilliant. Alrighty, up next in paranormal news, world's largest UFO convention returns to Indian Wells. It's happening right now. The 10th annual Contact in the Desert started yesterday, kicking off big time today. I got to try and figure out how I can get to be a part of this in some way, shape, or form, whether as a panel, as press, invited guest, booth, exhibition, whatever, selling crap. I have to be a part of this next one. So I'm going to do my damnedest to start being part of these UFO conventions because, again, honestly, I think that Paranormal Almanac is one of the leading podcasts, and that's not blowing smoke up my own ass. I really, truly think that talks about all things UFO and the paranormal that's in the news, not just regurgitating stories about Roswell from back in the day. In the news, up to the minute stuff, which is why I love these paranormal news. But let's keep going. Up next in paranormal news, that one's not working, so we'll skip that one. Was there a UFO on display at a New York State air show? There's been a lot of talk and attention surrounding UAPs, UFOs, but now this one's frozen. Doesn't matter. It was more about the Blue Angels video that I just posted, so it's fine. Why is everything freezing? That's not a good sign. Come on, don't do this to me now, internet. I need you for at least a couple more minutes. Oh, it's freezing. All right, well, that about does it for paranormal news. You can thank the internet for that one. It's crazy. All right, let's just wrap up paranormal news. Let's take a quick break. Well, actually, before we take a quick break, head on over to tpublic.com/stores/paranormal-almanac for all your paranormal almanac needs, merch, everything. That's tpublic.com/stores/paranormal-almanac. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. We are back. Okay, so last week I started Arkansas basically. So I might as well finish it, or at least do the next one to be more accurate, because I'm not going to finish it. I'll tell you right now, this episode does not get into all things paranormal Arkansas, because my God, Arkansas, you've got a lot of paranormal stuff. Like, same with West Virginia. Like, what is it with these states? So we're going to continue with the paranormal 50 states or 50 paranormal states, whatever we're going to call it. But I originally was going to do an all Paranormal Almanac UFO news episode because it's insane. There was a ton of UFO stuff in the news, even more than you heard on this episode. The couple of stories that didn't load, sure, there was a couple more. No, there were 20 to 30 more UFO stories. I could have done a full hour. I'm already into like 28 minutes in this episode. I could have done a full hour on just UFO stories in the news. I truly remember, like I was saying, just 2 to 3 years ago, I was lucky if I could find one UFO news story. And now I have to pick and choose. Now I have to leave stuff on the sidelines because there's just too many UFO news stories. And that's not even going into the Loch Ness stories, which there's basically one a week. And it's not the Bigfoot stories, which are basically one a week. It's insane to me. Like, I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, this is disclosure. This is how disclosure works. You keep inundating the public with these UFO stories, little bits and pieces. The government talks about it a little bit. And eventually, and it's happened, the next generation just goes, yeah, of course aliens are real. Of course UFOs are real. My niece and my nephews, that's what they say. They're like, yeah, of course it's real. I'm like, yeah, all right, but that's cool, and I'm glad you guys think that too. But back in the day, oh my God, back in the day, I was an insane person. If I talked about UFOs to anybody in my family, they'd roll their eyes and be like, yeah, he believes in UFOs and ghosts. He's an idiot. You know, that kind of a thing. This is what disclosure is. It's making it so just basic, generic, like, yeah, of course they're real. And that's where we're at right now. We've hit that moment. It should be celebrated. It should be bigger that you can talk about this stuff, that government officials can talk about UFOs and aliens and not be as ridiculed as they would have been not even like 5-10 years ago. I mean, sure, there's some people that still roll their eyes and still ridicule them, but not anywhere near where it used to be. It used to be career ending. You know, Jimmy Carter talked about seeing a UFO once, and everybody was like, shut it down. We don't want him to think everybody think he's crazy. Shut it down. Now, it's not a big deal. You can talk about this stuff, and a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are going to go, yeah, of course it is. But anyhow, that episode's going to have to wait. There'll be one in the future. I guarantee it. Like I say, there's more and more and more paranormal news in the news, which is awesome because I need it for my paranormal news. But right now, we're talking all things paranormal in Arkansas. So let's first go over to the Arkansas State Capitol building itself. Fun fact, it was built on the grounds of the former Arkansas State Penitentiary. Now, yeah, that's not as bad as an Indian burial ground, but still, maybe you might want to reconsider, choose another place to build your state capitol building. No, they didn't. And it's not good because during the excavation of the foundation around 1899, they discovered, long forgotten, rotten wood coffins with, obviously, the remains of the inmates of the former Arkansas State Penitentiary. So they dig up all of these coffins and dead people, and they go, should we maybe not build here? No? All right, screw it. Let's keep building. In fact, they didn't even make sure they got all of the bodies. They kind of just went, oops, hey, we uncovered these 6 bodies. Well, there must have only been 6 of them. Cool. Let's move those. Just keep building. Look, if only they had watched Poltergeist. Come on, guys. It's 1899. You didn't have your own version of Poltergeist back then? So at first, I found a lot of stories online of all the paranormal basics that happen in here. You know, the shadows, the voices, the moving, like the basic paranormal stuff that I always talk about, especially in the basement of the state capitol building itself. But that's where employees would hear like disembodied voices and all that stuff. But wait, then I found more. And then I did more research and I found more. And then I did more research and I was like, good Lord, this building is insanely haunted. For example, in 1932, Representative Ira Gurley was crushed to death by the South Elevator. Ever since then, people say that the elevator has a mind of its own. And cold spots? Yep, it's got cold spots. Cold spots or shadows are seen and felt in the elevator itself all the time. They say they hear him. Some people see him going towards the elevator. Cold spots, shadows. Then I found that visitors and state employees have also reported seeing a woman dressed in period clothing floating down the marble staircases. All right, Kurt here. Women, help me out. What exactly is period clothing? I can only assume it's red. I'm kidding. I know they mean, when they say period clothing, they mean like 18th century. It's just a dumb phrase for period clothing. Anyhow, let's go on to this news story next about the Capitol building. That's right. More paranormal news in the middle of the episode. This is from Fox16.com from 2021. Is the Arkansas State Capitol haunted? Fox 16 joins Sweet and Sour Paranormal to find out. Sweet and Sour Paranormal, I don't know who you are, but I love you. The state capitol is one of the most well-known buildings in Arkansas. Skip ahead. Our crews were granted exclusive after-hour access with the group known as Sweet and Sour Paranormal. What they found may make you think twice the next time you walk through those huge bronze doors. Let's see. State capitol is known as the place where laws are created, history is made. Whispers of spirits floating inside the Capitol walls are common among staff, whether it's the custodians cleaning the basement or Capitol Police on the graveyard shift. They say these are big guys, old-time cops who were serious about their work. They had heard things. They could swear up and down they'd seen things, according to state historian David Ware. Ware said to understand those stories, it's important to know the grounds didn't always host those making laws, but those who broke them. It's the site of the old state penitentiary. Hey, I know that. He talked about the mess of a prison that up until 1899 sat on what is now the home of the Capitol. He said, so between disease, the violence that you found when you have convicts locked up in very close quarters, my bet is there was quite a few deaths. Certainly, people are texting me. Certainly the prisoners were buried on what has been known as the grounds. Well, yeah, Kurt here. Of course they did. Yeah, they found the bodies. I already talked about that. I believe if there are any skeletal remains, they're fragmentary. With that in mind, Sweet and Sour Paranormal set off to see if they could find anything. Immediately, clairvoyant Michelle Martindale got an eerie feeling. They screamed my name, then they screamed Chris's name, then they said to leave. I'm just saying that they know that we're here is all I'm telling you. As she walked past the elevator, something drew her back to it. One death we do know is the death of a gentleman named Ira Gurley. I talked about that one too. He was getting on board the elevator. The elevator took off. He was in the doorway. The elevator went up and crushed him in the frame. That's horrific. They go on to say that while they're walking up and down, they caught a woman scream on camera. Near the stairs, Chris says that he was walking up and he noticed he wasn't alone. There's someone beside you. Using thermal imaging cameras, they could see the silhouette of someone else, but there was no one next to him. Later on, he took his recording device to the basement. While he was asking the spirits questions, he picked up another voice. After 5 hours, it was time to leave, but a lot of spirits and evidence was found. Yeah, that's cool. I would love to do an investigation of that place. Are you kidding me? Then there's this story about the Capitol building. KTALnews.com says this one's from around the same time. They joined another paranormal team to investigate. I'm gonna skip the story because we're burning time here. Or this news story. I just want to show you how many news stories are about this place. This one's from October 2022 from KARK.com. And it goes through everything about everything I just told you about the Capitol building. So basically, yeah, lots and lots of the same stuff all over the internet. There are constant news stories about this building, about new evidence, new paranormal evidence, and paranormal teams that they allow to go through this building. So Sweet and Sour Paranormal, if you never need someone else to go with you, please let me know because, yeah, I would love to do an investigation with you. If I do an investigation of the building, I think I'm going to take the stairs. I will say that. Something about an elevator crushing somebody makes me never want to take that elevator. But let's keep going. Let's go over to the Old State House Museum. Now, the Old State House Museum is the state's first Capitol building. Yeah. Arkansas, you love your paranormal Capitol buildings. There is lots of history that happened here, but this isn't History Almanac, so I'm going to skip all that. I'm going to get to the good stuff. Visitors of this museum say they see all kinds of ghost politicians here walking throughout the chamber and the building. People have said they have seen the spirit of John Wilson. He's seen in his old office and walking the chambers. The spirit of Joseph Brooks. He's seen in the room where his office was located. The spirit of Representative Anthony, who's seen basically all over the building. There's tons of reports on this dude. And basically a ton of other ghost politicians seen throughout the building. Geez, seems like politicians work more when they're dead, huh? Whoa, that's right. Kurt's talking about politics. Anyhow, a bunch of visitors said they felt a hand clamp down on their shoulders, but there's no one near them. And they hear footsteps hurry away when you walk towards them. Then all the basics. You got your cold spots, your voices, your shadows, you know, but let's keep moving on. There's lots to get to. Up next, we go to the Mount Holly Cemetery. Fun fact, the Mount Holly Cemetery is the old Capitol building. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. There's only two apparently old Capitol buildings. the cemetery is not one of them. But it is the final resting place of many famous Arkansans. Arkansasans? People from Arkansas is what I'm saying here. Quick, I need everyone. Take a second. I'm going to give you a second. Hold on. I'm going to get to that. Let me get to that thinking music. Okay. I need everyone to think of one famous person from Arkansas. Are you ready? Go. No, you need a longer thinking time than that. One famous person from Arkansas. Go. Just one. All we need is one. A famous person from Arkansas. Time's up. Kurt here. I could name exactly 0 famous people from Arkansas. So let's find out together who these famous people from Arkansas that are buried in Mount Holly Cemetery. I'm going to go to, let's see. First, I went to the Wikipedia, or not their Wikipedia page, went to their website. And it says, the cemetery has been called the Westminster Abbey of Arkansas due to the number of notable Arkansans. Oh, I did get it right. Laid to rest here. There are 11 state governors, 14 state Supreme Court justices, 4 Confederate generals, 22 Little Rock mayors, 2 Pulitzer Prize winners, and numerous military heroes, prominent physicians, church leaders, and attorneys. And that didn't help me at all. So then I went to their Wikipedia page. I'm going to go to it again right now for you. All right, notable burials. Here we go. Samuel Adams, Dale Alford, Chester Ashley. Oh, of course, W. Jasper Blackburn, Solon Borland, Elias Conway, David Owen Dodd. All right, I'm stopping. Look, I recognize, looking down this entire list, I recognize one name on that list, and that's Samuel Adams, the guy that invented beer. Alrighty, so what's seen here? Well, hold on, let me make sure I'm on the right page. Yeah, I am. What's seen here? Well, people have reported strange sightings throughout the cemetery gates, including figures who seem to float above the ground, and also figures who suddenly, not seemingly, suddenly vanish into the night. That's cool. If you're going to vanish, you should vanish into the night. They also claim that statues have been mysteriously relocated to the lawns of nearby houses. But I gotta say, within just 2 minutes of research, I found that sadly this cemetery had a huge vandalism problem in 2016. So this one in particular isn't paranormal, but the next couple, they might be. Because people living nearby that cemetery report that late at night they hear the sounds of a flute, and that trinkets and small items have been known to appear and disappear around the graves right in front of the people that are paying their respects. Also, getting back to the statues a little bit different. Not just statues being put on people's lawns. No. People in this cemetery have seen the statues move on their own right in front of them. Now, that one I want to see. That's like some Doctor Who Weeping Angel kind of shit I want to see. So it seems like, if you go to Arkansas, you throw a rock and you're going to find something paranormal. But this cemetery, usually I say don't bother going to cemeteries. They're, not a lot of cemeteries are haunted. Not as many cemeteries are haunted as people think. I'll put it that way. But this one seems to have something to it. But we got to keep moving on. Let's go on to the Empress of Little Rock. Now, it's also known as the Hornibrook House. The Empress of Little Rock is a bed and breakfast now, but the home was constructed in 1888 by James Hornibrook, who lived in the house for 2 years. In 1890, he was found dead in the yard under mysterious circumstances. See, that's why I had to make sure I had the right button there. James was apparently so worried that he might die young that he even had a death mask made of himself years before, which, fun fact, you can still see if you go to the Empress of Little Rock because it hangs on the wall in the hotel or the bed and breakfast. Now, one owner of the bed and breakfast said a man came to him and pleaded with him to renovate the hotel to its former glory before vanishing in front of him. All right, Kurt here. I don't care how much of a skeptic you are. If a guy shows up telling you to bring the building you own back to its former glory, then vanishes in front of you, you freaking do what he says. You spend your entire life bringing that building back to its former glory because a ghost just told you. Look, skeptics, explain that one. Someone vanishes right in front of you, unless it's Chris Angel, come on. Or David Blaine, come on. Or Jimmy Hoffa, nah, it's a bad joke. All right, so the owner's wife also experienced cold spots and felt chills while working in the hotel. Over the years, the house became a women's college, then a nursing home, and then just a rental property before this guy bought it. So it makes total sense that the ghost of James Hornibrook would come and say, look, you got to bring it back to its former glory. It's faded, basically. Now, according to another previous owner, Sharon Welch Blair, the mansion was built with, quote, lots of love and revenge. And then doesn't go on to tell me what the hell she's talking about. I couldn't find, the mysterious circumstances. Yep, get that. Revenge? Where are you getting that from? I can't find anything about revenge in this place. Let's see. She described one event where a guest reported hearing footsteps coming towards them. Then something jiggled the door handle. The guest opened the door, but no one was in the doorway. Her guests have also reported seeing apparitions in the hallways, like the ghost of an African-American maid she's seen often, either standing quietly in rooms on the second floor. She's also seen disappearing into closets. She's also seen cleaning rooms, which, you're getting your money's worth on that one. And then there's also the ghost of a well-dressed man who often watches guests from the top of the staircase, but not done yet, because they also see a woman in pink and a man resembling a sea captain. All right, I want to see a sea captain ghost. I want to drink with a sea captain ghost. Are you kidding me? I will gladly buy you expensive whiskey or whatever the hell you want, and you can vanish right after that. You can ghost me, huh? No. There we go. I would love to see a sea captain ghost. That's high up on my list of ghosts. Low on my list of ghosts that I want to see are kid ghosts because they're just freaking creepy. But a sea captain ghost? Hell yeah, I want to see that. There are also a ton of people report hearing someone rapidly following them to their room, and they're startled when they turn around and no one is there, but they can still hear the footsteps running up towards them. That's cool. The sounds of people talking in rooms that are completely empty for the night, all the basic paranormal stuff as well. Now, there's been several paranormal encounters that have been witnessed by another former owner, but I think it's her husband because they got the same last name. That's Robert H. Blair. His workers and his guests at the time said that they saw a period-dressed gentleman, period, complete with a top hat floating down the stairs. And he said while restoring the secret poker room in the attic, he hired painter Timmy Watts, who found himself locked out even though no handle or lock was on the door yet. When he returned with the screwdriver to try and jimmy his way back into that room, he said that the door was now open and that the same image of a man that Blair had previously witnessed before appeared before him. So that same dude that popped up to the other owner appeared to this guy who was working on the building. So there's definitely this guy, this James Hornibrook, he really wants this place redone and done right. And he's keeping a close eye on it. All righty, up next is, another museum. Look, I know two things about Arkansas from the past two episodes. One, they love their museums. And two, I don't think I could find Arkansas on a map. And that's just because, I'm not a smart person is what I'm saying. But I honestly think that if you show me a map of America with no, without the states being written, map of America, no states listed. All right. Here we go. A blank map of America. I'm going to get it close. I'm going to tell you it's in this region, which is above Texas, below North Dakota, South Dakota. I know those. That's Wisconsin. That's Illinois. That's Indiana. That's Ohio. That's Michigan. I know those. So I'm going to guess it's one of these two. So let me see if I guessed correctly which one is Arkansas. No, that was Missouri. Oh, I was right. All right, so I got it within 2. So I didn't know if it was Missouri or if it was Arkansas, but it's not terrible. Yes, it is. That's just sad. I guarantee you that there are people in other countries listening to this right now that go, I can even find Arkansas on the map of America. Whatever. I went to public school. I haven't been asked to find Arkansas or make a felt map of America in a very long time. But anyhow, let's keep on keeping on. Let's move on to the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History. Oof. Look, I love museums. But if you said, hey, what do you want to do today? It's Saturday. Right now, it's Saturday, Kurt. Do you want to go to the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History? No? Well, I mean, it's haunted. It's going to be on this episode, so it's haunted. So I guess the only reason I would go there would be for the ghosts. I don't know. Maybe it's a beautiful museum, and I'm just wrong. I'm just saying that that's a mouthful of a title. So, the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History started out as Arkansas's first arsenal, and it's been everything from both a Confederate and a Union-held base, a hospital where Douglas MacArthur was born. I know who he is, so there we go. I'm with you. A science museum, and now a history museum. Supposedly, if you go to this museum on a slow and quiet day, it said you have a very good chance that you can actually hear the sick and dying. Well, the now dead patients, basically, when it was, a hospital back in the day. You can hear the ghosts of the sick and dying saying prayers. There also seems to be a soldier guarding the premises, and it's said that his voice has been captured on paranormal devices telling folks to get out of the building. That's cool. This place has also had, that's right, this place has a lady in white ghost. That's right, thank God. It's been like an episode and a half without a lady in white ghost. So the lady in white ghost, she's seen at the top of the stairs, supposedly waiting for her husband to return from the battlefield. Not done yet here. There's also been reports of a duel between 2 shadows. I would love to know more about that, but everything I found out about it just says basically that. It's a duel between 2 shadows. And a playful ghost who likes to throw things from the top of the staircase at you. Depending on what he's throwing, that could be playful. And a seemingly very real, solid figure of a man who, quotes, melted into the air once an employee made contact with them. How about this, employees? How about you don't go around touching people to see if they'll melt into the air? If I go to this museum, don't just walk up and touch me hoping I'll melt into the air, because I won't. I will scream. Finally, the sounds of music, laughter, and talking have also been heard from the second floor, but when you go to investigate, everything's quiet. So obviously the ghosts were talking about you just like the living do. Anyhow, here's a paranormal news story about this place. That's right, more paranormal news. Military museum favored amongst ghost hunters. It says among, but it should be amongst ghost hunters. Now this was on THV 11. MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History has long been a favorite for ghost hunters. There's loud footsteps, creaky noises, strange sounds. Paranormal investigator Rhonda Burton says the noises are well heard. It was a lot of thumping and bumping and moving around, and it was around midnight. And it happened for probably around 30 minutes, then it was done. That's a song lyric right there. It was a lot of thumping and bumping and moving around. It was around midnight. Yeah, you could put that to music, Buzz. MacArthur's Museum of Arkansas, you know what the fucking thing's called, has been a favorite. She says that known activity has actually been increasing over the years. Because of the paranormal groups that come through here, there's been a lot more happening. There's been a lot more pictures, like they come through on pictures more and more every year. On the review, when they just pick the recorder up and walk down, you hear a man say, "Get out." A woman in white was seen on the grand staircase, the piano playing. There's been a servant woman carrying clothes on the first floor. A white form darted in front of me and darted down the stairs going quickly. It was so fast, it was in a blink of an eye. She says, I believe it's one of the most haunted places in Arkansas for sure. All right. I take back what I say. Well, no, I said I would go there just for the ghost. So I know I'm right in what I said. That was cool. That's way cool. But we got to keep on keeping on. So let's move on to Curran Hall or Curran Hall. Now I want you guys to take a guess. Is Curran Hall a museum or no? I'm not going to play the music. Just say it out loud. Okay, that was your answer? Do you want to change your answer before we move on? No? Curran Hall, I'm just going to call it Curran Hall, is the home of the Little Rock Visitors Information Center. Okay, did anybody guess that? This house was originally built by Colonel Ebenezer Walters for his young bride, Mary. Kurt here. Oh, crap. Walters are relatives of mine. Let's see what the Walters do. Legend says that Mary Walters was never able to see the completed structure as she died in childbirth. Now, when it says she died in childbirth, I assume they meant she was having a child, not that she was going to be born and she died. Because if that's the case, how do you know that she really wanted to see the completed structure? So I'm going to go with she died while giving birth, just before the house was finished. Now, grief-stricken Colonel Walters, he left the state, and the house was owned by several different people, some of whom have reported seeing the ghost of Mary Walters, who must be wondering, why the hell where's my beautiful house? Why does it look like it's a visitor center now? What's happening to my beautiful house visitor center of, what's it called? Little Rock Visitors Information Center. So the visitor center staff have reported all the basics of ghosts and also a picture coming off the wall and a coffee machine making coffee with no grounds or water present. Okay. Now I really want to go here to have Mary Walters make me some ghost coffee. And I'm going to tell her, like, hey, we're related, Mary Walters. I'm sorry you didn't get to see the building. This is some damn fine ghost coffee. Let's see. A team of paranormal investigators captured a voice recording here saying, Mary, that's who I am. And they said they weren't sure what it meant. Really? A voice says, Mary, that's who I am. And you go, wonder what she meant by that. I'm pretty sure she means, hey, it's me. I'm Mary. That's who I am. Anyhow, that's a good reason to go to the Little Rock Visitors Information Center. Ask Mary for a cup of coffee if you do go. Let's see. Up next, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Kurt, enough with the museums and buildings. I want something natural. But, Kurt, I want it natural with a lady in white ghost. All right, that's pretty specific, but let's see if I can find something. Oh, here we go. I found one. It's called Natural Steps, which to me sounds like a diaper or some way to quit smoking, but it's actually a unique geological formation along the banks of the Arkansas River. Let me read you their bio. Natural Steps is a small town with an unsettling history of buildings, structures, and people disappearing. Days after a local couple's wedding atop the Natural Steps, the groom perished from a sudden and mysterious illness. Overwhelmed with grief, the widow disappeared after the funeral. Many believe by committing suicide by jumping off of natural steps. Oh, shit. Looks like another lady in white ghost. That's right. Ever since then, residents and visitors alike have since reported seeing a woman in white strolling within the town. During the Civil War, Confederate forces are believed to have sunk their own gunboat also here, containing vast sums of gold. They did it in order to keep the Union troops at bay. Good job. Now, 3 Confederate soldiers died during the explosion, and their graves can be found in the town cemetery, but their ghosts have been seen on, wait, hold on. I gotta read it directly as it's written. Not done yet. Legend has it, on moonlit nights, the ghost of 3 soldiers march in a single file line to the Arkansas River to uncover their hidden treasure. That's right, we've got a treasure in this episode too. Okay, Kurt here. This one seems pretty easy. All you got to do is wait for a moonlit night, which, to be honest, is most nights. You follow the ghost down to the river, And when they uncover their treasure, you take it and run. But you do it dressed like a lady in white, so they go after her and not you. Boom, free treasure for you guys. Okay, you don't get to decide the next one. That's it for that one. That's it for that. That's all it is there 3 ghosts. They go walking down the river. There's a lady in white. They think they know why. The next one, I'm just going to tell you. It's only the Stonehenge of Arkansas, or as it's also known, Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park. You got to admit, Stonehenge of Arkansas, slightly better. You guys like your long titles in Arkansas. The Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park, which is near the MacArthur Museum of Arkansas Military History, but you can find out about it by going to the Little Rock Visitors Information Center. Man, you like your long titles. Now, the Stonehenge of Arkansas, formerly known as the Toltec Mounds, but they've since figured out that the remains are, quote, not from the Mexican Toltec or Aztec tribes, so basically that was just a bad name. The Plum Bayou people built 18 mounds to serve as a ceremonial, religious, governmental, and social complex structure, with at least one serving as a burial mound. Archaeological digs at the site have uncovered items that cannot be traced to other Native American cultures, though. So there is a mystery involved here, hence the Stonehenge, and also have suggested that the Plum Bayou people simply disappeared with no trace to where they went or why they left. Mystery Arkansasans. Arkansans. Mystery peoples. All right, so what's been seen here? Well, how about lights, orbs, and even ghostly apparitions of ancient people? That's cool. I don't care about the lights. I don't care about the orbs. Well, lights a little bit. Orbs, don't care about. But ghostly apparitions of ancient people? Hell yeah, sign me up. They say at night, footsteps have been heard around the existing mound site. Kurt here. Dressed as a lady in white, but with a Confederate hat on to confuse all the ghosts going on here. And only go there on nights with no moons, just to see what happens. Basically, that's all it is. It's all the paranormal basics. They got the lights, you got your orbs, you got your apparitions of ancient people, you got your footsteps, you got your noises, but they don't have a ton of eyewitness testimony. So, we're running out of time, so let me keep on moving on to the Clayton House. Built as the residence for William Henry Harrison Clayton and his family, Director Martha Seiler and her employees, they say they steer clear of a bedroom on the 2nd floor where the sounds of boot stomping and door slamming have been heard. So there's one room no one wants to go to. That's the room I want to stay in. In Clayton's study, Martha and her daughter have both seen an apparition of a woman with gray hair dressed in brown, but they're not the only ones that have had paranormal experiences at the Clayton house, because a carpenter took some pictures while working on the house. When he got them back, he said a woman appeared. He's like, she was not there. There was nobody in the building when I took the photos. When I got the photos back from the developer, there was a woman in the photographs. That's cool. Also, several paranormal investigators have captured several recordings in the house, including one of a cat meowing and of a man yelling an obscenity. Kurt here, my guess is he screamed, "Oh fuck, a ghost cat." When the public was invited on these investigations, a woman reported her hair being tugged, and a man saw a person's face appear and disappear right in front of him. Just the face, no bodies. Oof, there's a lot to unpack there. That's cool. Clayton House, put that on your list. Let's keep moving on. Let's go on to the 1905 Basin Park Hotel, which you might guess was built in 1905. And if you did, give yourself a Paramaniac point, which, as you know, Paramaniac points can be redeemed later towards a drink at my tiki bar. One drink is 1,000 Paramaniac points. All right, so the 1905 Basin Park Hotel is the sister hotel to the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa. That one was built in 1886. Let's see. This one, built in 1905 by William Duncan, rumored, but again, grain of salt, rumored that it was built on the graves or the ruins of the Perry house, depending on where you get your information. Some say it was just built on ruins of the Perry house, but some say, no, it was built on graves of the Perry house. So grain of salt, that one, but still weird. Now, the original hotel, that the Perry house, that is, it burnt to the ground in 1890. So it wasn't that long before. I mean, it was built in 1905. In 1890, if something was on that original spot, which it seems like it was, burnt down in 1890. But again, I can't find out for sure that there were graves there. But this 1905 house, Basin Park Hotel, nearly bankrupted all the investors involved in it. Now, today, the ghost of William Duncan, the guy that built it, he's seen in the traditional brown suit and derby. He's seen basically all over the property. The more I looked into him and this place, the more I found more and more sightings of him all over the property. But it's not just him. There's also the ghost of a young girl in a long white dress. Ooh, young lady in white ghost. Now, she's seen waiting for her groom in the barefoot ballroom. Also, the bells of slot machines from the 40s and 50s can be heard in the former illegal gambling parlor. Now let's go to their website. This is directly from their website. Mysteries unresolved, including the recurring orbs that are seen on the guest floors. Kurt here. It's called dust. Dust your hotel better. Especially those wings of the hotel that abut the ramps to the limestone bluffs behind the hotel. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Apparently, there's wings of the hotel that butt up to, I'm going to assume they meant, to the limestone bluffs behind the hotel. Now, if you're a paranormal person and, a fan of this show, you'll know that limestone and quartz are both big in paranormal community. They seem to record or keep track or whatever, contain paranormal activity. It's usually residual paranormal activity, but still. So that is very interesting that this place is right up against and probably on limestone. Now, the human shape shadows seen in the barefoot ballroom and the large faces that appear on the inside of the stained glass windows in the ballroom's foyers. The most intriguing mystery is what caused the marks around the throat of a tour guide in January of this year. A well-known national paranormal expert, oh God, is it me? Oh, God. Let me keep reading. A well-known national paranormal expert and his wife, okay, it's not me, were granted access to the barefoot ballroom for a private investigation, explained Keith Scales, the manager of the paranormal tours at both the Basin Park Hotel and its sister property, the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa. He says, after the group had seen several moving shadows and experienced numerous temperature fluctuations, one of our tour guides during an EVP session started feeling pressure on his throat. The pressure increased, causing him to cough, unable to breathe. He scrambled to his feet and left the ballroom, hoping to, quote, escape this grasp and get some air. When he returned to the ballroom, he pulled down his turtleneck to have the others in the room check his neck. It's horribly spelled. Do a spell check on your website. There they saw red marks encircling a white area at the front of his throat as though two hands had tried to choke him. That's cool. I mean, not for him. That must suck, but that's cool. It goes on to say, it is these kinds of mysteries that we are asking our guests and Adventure patrons to help us solve. We would like to have solved the mystery of the who, the where, and the why, these spirits that reside in the 1905 Basin Park Hotel. All right, that's cool. But let's keep going on. What have other people reported at the 1905 Basin Park Hotel? Well, they've reported ghosts in the hallways, an apparition of a lion ghost, and a young woman bent on evicting visitors from, quote, her room. All right, you buried the lead here. I went to your website and read all that crap, and you don't start with, hey, come to our hotel, the 1905 Basin Park Hotel, because we have the ghost of a lion that's seen here. That's cool as hell. That should be number one. Fix your spelling errors. Put ghost lion at the top of your website. On another site about this hotel, this is what a bunch of people said. They said, stayed here and had that little bastard pull on the back of my shirt while I was standing in that very same hallway. So apparently there's a bunch of images, which don't really look like much to me, that is of a ghost kid. Some say it's a ghost boy, some say it's a ghost girl. Another person said, my wife and I stayed on the floor where this happened, and we had a very weird feeling in the bathroom of all places in our room. We also heard some taps on our windows as well. We were about 5 stories up, and I looked to see if it was a bird or something, but I saw nothing there. It happened throughout the night. That whole town is pretty old. There's also another very well-known hotel called the Crescent Hotel up the street, too. Haven't stayed there yet, though. It's supposedly haunted as hell. Another person said, stayed in the B&B for Thanksgiving in Eureka Springs one year. The whole town is haunted AF. I was creeped out the entire time. Could see a, quote, woman in our room in my head the whole time. I kept waiting for her to walk around the corner. Hard to explain, and I don't go around just imagining random people. Another person said, I stayed here when I was a kid, and it was the creepiest experience ever. From midnight to 4 a.m., something or someone kept banging on the door and the wall. It happened like every 5 minutes. I remember looking out the door right after it happened once, and there was no one around. It could have been a prank, but I doubt someone would keep doing that for 4 hours, and I couldn't catch them. The weird thing is, my parents never heard anything. They slept like babies. Yeah, I'll be honest. I could keep going on and on. It's just more and more of people sightings and stuff like that. But I got to say, I don't know how I'm going to top a ghost lion on this episode. We're already an hour in. So I'm not even going to try. Look, there's plenty more haunted crap in Arkansas, and there's tons more of visitors or guests saying their own experiences, but they're all the paranormal basics. So with that, I'm going to leave it there, I think. Yeah, why not? I'm going to leave it right there. Let's say there'll be another Haunted Arkansas episode in the future. You're going to have to wait for another episode. That'll about do it for this week's episode. Once again, I'm your host, Kurt Sandig, and this has been another edition of Paranormal Almanac. They all took the worst.